Speaking of Bridge to Terabithia, this is probably a great time to get into our section. It's called Kickin Real. Speaking of movies. And that's right, we're back with another episode of Kickin' It Real, our additional podcast slash sometimes segment. I would say sometimes segment, soon to be podcast, if you will, where we talk about the movies, TV shows that we're kind of like watching and that inspire us. So, Ryan, this week for Kickin' It Real, tell me about I Think You Should Leave.
I Think You Should Leave is the brainchild of Tim Robinson, who was a sketch comedian. I think he was a writer for SNL. I don't think he was on SNL as a cast member. But it's this irreverent sketch comedy show. Super weird, super like you don't really get the jokes up front. But you just have to let them sink in. And it's just pretty much every sketch that he does is about a guy doing something so absurd that the other people want him to leave. Hence the name.
It's for sure, like, because we watched, so, like, disclaimer, I'll put myself out here. When we were in California, visiting Omar, we watched a couple episodes of that with him and the Thai Prince twin, Omar's delicious roommate, model, skater, just a wonderful man. And we watched a couple episodes of that, and it is literally, like, if you're watching, like, with a rehearsal or Nathan For You, like, that show is meant to make you feel, like, uncomfortable, but I Think You Should Leave, it really does feel like it's that to the next level, where it's just like, I just want the viewer to be in fucking pain. Like,
No, for real. Like it's the most awkward moments that you've ever seen.
yeah,
But
it hurts.
they're all kind of relatable. A lot of them have to do with like the workplace. You can always make parallels to that, especially if you've ever worked in an office.
Oh my
There's
god.
always they're overplaying like the common personalities.
Yeah, but he also, like, he'll take shit to the next level. Like the door sketch where he is like trying to convince the guy that the door isn't just one way, and he breaks the fucking door handle off the fucking shit.
Just he didn't want to be wrong. He was opening the door the wrong way till the hinges break.
Yeah, or like the one where he's calling like a baby a douchebag. There's like so many like good fucking things. Like, it's definitely like, I think if you like that
I
type
swear,
of
the baby knows I used to be a piece of shit, but I'm not anymore. Baby needs to know that I'm not a piece of shit anymore.
And how long is each episode again? Like 5 minutes about, if that.
Well, the
Like
the
each
episodes
sketch,
are like a half hour long on
Yeah.
Netflix, but each sketch is like 2 to 5 minutes.
Yeah, so like it is like another like if anybody here is like not comparable obviously, but if you're into like Love, Death and Robots and like anthology shows where it's like a bunch of different kind of just like mishmash of stuff going on, obviously Love, Death and Robots and I Think You Should Leave are not the same shit, but shows that like just kind of like jump the gamut and do a bunch of different, like if you love Key and Peele, like
Right.
big comedy and like sketch humor. It's fucking incredible. I'm so sad that this is not the shit that we're seeing on SNL, because this is the shit that is like pushing the envelope and it's fucked up. And SNL, the thing for me for SNL, one, they repeat a lot of shit. They do a lot of like BuzzFeedy basic shit nowadays, but a lot of the
SNL is trash.
yeah, a lot of the humor is just like it's too safe.
Yeah, and we don't have to get into that, but
No, we can a little bit. Like I think just like it. There's only so many cast members I care about anymore. There's like one good sketch a year. Maybe like the fucking Weekend Update's okay. SNL sucks. We can admit that. We've said that on this show. And, like,
Weekend Update is the only segment still worth a damn.
yeah, and we're not saying that like because like listen, everybody on SNL like that's worked do like improv comedy for millions of people on TV. That's difficult. Like people have trained and worked hard to work there, but the writing overall and the organization. It's just like I wish it could be more like the rehearsal or a fucking like Nathan For You or a fucking like Key and Peele or goddamn I Think You Should Leave.
Too
Predictable.
corporate and too woke, and those are two things comedy isn't supposed to be.
It's very corporate to the point where like every joke is like, "Hey guys, check out Peacock. Do you have a subscription?"
Right? Yeah. Right. Well.
Yeah.
NBC.
Yeah, yeah, it's very like hardcore with that. But overall, yeah, I think usually it's fucking crazy. I hope we can see more like I mean, that's kind of like the ADHD podcast boys. Of course, we're like, I love this fucking untamed shit, right? You know,
No,
chaos.
right. I
Um,
can't wait for another season though, because I mean they're so easy to watch. You can watch a whole season in a night, and then it just leaves you wanting more.
yeah,
A whole another year.
yeah. And while we're on the topic, to end off kicking it real this week, speaking of just like shows that one are unpredictable, two are very fucking dark, and three are definitely just like kind of jumping all over the place. Harley Quinn. Now is a recently not recently, it came out a couple of years ago. It's on HBO Max right now. An animated series about Harley Quinn and DC. And listen, I'm a big comic book fan of like nerd shit like that, like Marvel and all that. I love all that like side shit. And DC, I really appreciate when it's dark, but DC the movies have been not great recently. But this is such a different turn of events from most of the fucking shows and series and movies that they're putting out because they're not afraid to toy with like all of the DC properties in a very not just like fucked up way. The show is fucked up. Like Ryan, you will love it because it's just like dark, sadistic humor. But
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
yeah, they're not afraid to kill their darlings. The stars are Lake Bell, who plays Poison Ivy, and Kaylee, I think it's Kyokyo or Coco from Big Bang Theory, which I fucking hate Big Bang Theory.
Oh,
So I'm
right,
like,
right.
I'm going in like thinking like, all right, it's not gonna be that great. Like, how could it be? But the way they honor the property and like aren't afraid to fuck with it. Like, spoilers. Um, Clayface is an actor, right? And like in DC Batman history, Clayface is an actor that got fucked up with chemicals and like did anything to make his face pretty. But now he's like an actual actor and he's trying to like there's an episode where he's trying to like get a Tim Burton role. There's an episode where he meets Billy Bob Thornton and he's like trying to get like enrolled in that. Joker, it's a totally different thing. Batman is like a rich kid. It's like it's just such an interesting take and it's so fucking just dark and disgustingly fucked up, but you're laughing just because like they've never done anything like this before. So recently I watched season 3. It continues the quality of it. I would definitely recommend it for anybody that's into like comic book culture and stuff like that. But if you're into really fucked up, like just a different take on something, it's for sure darker, but it's also like lighter. And there's also like really poignant moments. It's like a drama in a lot of ways. There's a lot of like, aside from like, you know, the supernatural, like comical aspect of it all, where it's like hyperbolic, like, you know, superhero shit. They really take a lot of shit and bring out the human level, just like on relationships and like being okay with yourself and kind of like finding out who you are, kind of stuff. Like that's
Right.
not to spoil too much shit because we're about to run out of time for this. But just a general overview of all the seasons, and season 3 is great. Bane. They turned Bane into one of the greatest comedic characters throughout the whole time. Um, but overall, it is just a show that is over the top, but really for a DC property, which has been lacking for me recently, DC just in general, it is such a real thing and real relationships in a fucking like such an unreal world. So definitely check it out. The animation at some points might like turn some people off, like just the quality of it. Some people might love it, but they're not afraid, especially you, Ryan, would love it because it's just fucked up beyond all relief. It is so dark.
I gotta watch it.
Yeah. So
Where can you find it?
HBO Max.
Cool.
Yeah, so everybody check it out. Check out the first episode of the pilot. It's great. That's Harley Quinn, and we also talked about Ryan. We talked about I Think You Should Leave. So yeah, that's Kickin' It Real for this week. Give us a rate on Apple Podcast and also Spotify, if you will. And yeah, we're gonna take a quick break and then kick it into the next segment.